Hello and welcome back to the Wheel Brick. Today we'll be checking out the Lego Technic Ferrari FXX. This is set 42212, has 897 pieces in it. It's rated 10 plus and it retails for $64.99 in the US. Looking on the box here, we have a picture of the car with this play in Asphalt Legends Unite branding right there. So you can, if I flip the box around, you can play the car in Asphalt Legends Unite. It has its own special code. You can see the back opens up here, but the doors also open, and so does the hood, and then a picture of the real car. So let's get into it. Inside the box, we have 6 numbered bags. We got the instruction manual along with a sticker sheet, and then we have this sheet here that has the code to race it in the game. So let's get into it. Here is the completed model on this Ferrari FXX. And I will be overlaying some in-game footage up here or down here while I'm doing the review of me doing a race through Paris using this car in the game. So let's get into it. So starting up front here, all the decals you'll see are all stickers except for this front part here. This is an actual print. Down here we have FXX. We have a number 10 right there and a stripe that goes down in here, partially brick built and partially stickers. Moving forward here, we have the headlights as stickers here along with the stripe, which is also stickers. Stickers in here for this stripe. The headlights on this thing, since it's a track car, it can be really thin LEDs, and that's how they are on the real car. They're a little bit more horizontal, but here, because of the way they did it, they had to do it more of a diagonal shape. Opening up the hood here, which does open, or I guess the frunk, you can open it up. And there's a little storage area in there. There's not much of a storage area, but there's a little bit of a storage area. Putting this down, you can see another vent. You can see all the way through there. So if you had something, you tipped it over, it would fall out, obviously, but you wouldn't want to tip the car over in the first place, so it is fine like that. You have the mirrors that come out, and this is actually how it is on the real car. It's just like, this car is based off of the LaFerrari, so the LaFerrari has mirrors that come all the way out like that. And so it is replicated. Of course, this is the track-only version of the LaFerrari. Moving to the side, you can see a whole load of stickers in here, and then the FXX logo. You have just regular wheels that they've been using forever. The doors do open. Also on this side, they open up. They don't know. I thought they would open a little bit further, but I think it's just the space constraint. And if you look in there, I don't know how well you can see, there's a steering wheel in there, and then you got some seats. It's probably a little bit better to see it right in there. You still can't really see it, but there's stickers on the seats in there, but it's really tight, and it's supposed to be tight on a race car because you don't really want to be moving around when you're flying through corners, or if you have a wreck, you don't want to really be flying around, and so the space keeps you kind of in that one spot so you don't move around on the racetrack. And then we have the Hand of God steering knob up top, and as always, it can be removed if you so choose to, but I just leave it on here because there's really no place to put it. I mean, yeah, you could take it off and move to the front and open the frunk here, like so, and you could put it like right in here, which I found works. But I just prefer to keep it up top because it's not really, like, it's pretty subtle. You can't really tell the difference. Usually there is an antenna on these things to communicate via to the pits or whatever, so I just kind of call it the antenna. Putting these doors down, another cool feature, this entire back clam opens up, and then there's a little stick in here that you can actually put there, and so it'll make it so it doesn't fall on its own, because it won't really fall, but just on on the real car, you have this stand in here, and that's a nice way to display it as well. Inside, you do have the V12 engine, which Ferrari is known for. You have this kind of electrical wire setup in here, which I think is really quite interesting. I don't know why they didn't include it over here. I'm assuming that's the only place it goes on the real car, but then you have these kind of flat areas here, which I bet you that'll collect a whole lot of dust if you have it displayed like this up. You can see the differential in there to make the rear wheels drive, the front wheels do not drive. And then on the back, we have the lights along with this kind of silver strip here. And I did want to point out, this is not the best held on. It could come off pretty easily, especially if you try, because I've tried in the past to, when I lift this up, I want to grab it from right here, thinking it completely lifts up like that. No, you want to grab it like this, because otherwise this will pull off. And also with these lights here, I saw another reviewer said that, oh, these aren't great because they just pop off if you hit it just like that. And well, I don't have that issue with mine. It's not falling off. The only thing that's really fallen off is if I grab this part weird, but otherwise it works. Over here as well, we got a little bit of the engine you can see in there. And I did forget to say that if you drive the wheels, the engine of course moves up and down. But closing that up, we have these little wingtips in here that are black here, but then they're also red. Now they offer a more track extreme version of this car called the FXX Evo. The Evo has an entire regular spoiler that curves up like that. The FXX, just a regular one, the non-Evo version, has these little wingtips in here. Moving on, you can see the Ferrari badge in here. And moving down, we have the diffuser along with the exhaust tips in there. I'm not really a fan of how they did that because it has the tan in there for the pin, but I don't know how well of a great job they could have done without doing that unless they recolored the pin, which I don't think they would do for a set like this. And then we have the Ferrari logo and then the fog light down here. I did quite quickly want to show underneath to show like the kind of structure underneath of these cars at this scale. It's pretty basic. The engine, the differential here, along with the thing to make the wheels turn back and forth for the hand of God steering. And this is what I mean if you kind of put your finger in the wrong spot. This thing comes off, but it's really easy to put back on. You just clip it right back into place, like so, and then you can clip it right back in there. And then the taillights need a little bit more positioning, and then you can put it down and it's like nothing ever happened. I did quickly want to compare it in size next to the Supra and the Bronco. The Bronco is, of course, a smaller wheelbase Bronco, so it's going to be smaller of a wheelbase. The more comparable version is the Supra and then the FXX, which is about the same size. And you consider what I mean with the wheels, the standard wheel they've been using, and they put it over here too. I kind of wish they would do like specific for that vehicle, but they only do that on the Ultimate Collector series, and I know why, because it would drive the price up, and they want to kind of keep this at a more affordable version. Speaking of the price, this is priced at $64.99 along with this, and this is priced at $59.99. What I will say with this Ferrari, I think this is one of the better looking Technic models at this scale, because if you look at the Corvette, I'll put a picture here, and the Valkyrie, I'll put a picture here. Those look kind of weird. I mean, the front of the Corvette doesn't look bad, but I'll put a picture down here of the back of the Corvette. The back of the Corvette looks really bad, and that is another reason I've not bought that set. I was really hyped for it, but I don't know if I'm going to be buying it because of that design flaw in the back. It looks really bad. But here they did it really well with the Ferrari. This was a great candidate, and they made it look really, really nice on it. And the Supra, they also did a really nice job on the Supra, I think as best as you're going to be able to get. And I think the Bronco, in my opinion, is the best out of all of them because, well, with this, it's an SUV, a boxy SUV, and you can kind of make it better in Lego form if you have a boxy shape. But the curvature of these supercars is really hard to capture at this scale. With that said, with the price at $64.99, I kind of wish it was more priced closer to the Supra at $59.99. But as with the tariffs, I don't think that they were able to push it down. They had to hike the price a little bit, which kind of makes me a little bit more sad. But this is a good model, and I think if you're a Ferrari fan, a car fan, a Technic fan, you will not be disappointed. And if you have the other releases from the previous August releases, well, I guess this is an August release, and then the March release, it'll look really good next to the other cars, which I think is really great, and they make the scale the same as the other cars, so they don't look kind of wonky. This is, of course, an SUV, so it's always going to be a little bit taller, but yeah, it looks very nice next to each other. So those are my thoughts. Let me know yours. Put them down in the comments. Make sure to subscribe to The Wheel Brick. Follow The Wheel Brick on Instagram. Make sure you like this video if you like this sort of content, and I will see you next video.